Hey, what's up, America? Welcome to 5 Stupid Questions with America's sweetheart, Eric Ryan. I am America's sweetheart, Eric Ryan. This week's guest is Molly Ruland. Molly Ruland is the CEO and founder of Heartcast Media, and Heartcast Media is a full-service podcast production studio. Anyway, today's question, it's question 2 of 5 stupid questions, is what Molly's death row meal would be. I'm going to ruin a little bit of this for you. One of the appetizers she chooses is Korean twice fried chicken. Oh my God, is this shit good. I don't know if you've had it, but it got me thinking. If twice fried chicken is better than once fried chicken, and toast is better than bread, and refried beans is better than beans, and twice baked potatoes are objectively better than once baked potatoes, why aren't we cooking things more than once more often? Also, why hasn't anyone come up with carbonated soup? Wouldn't that be better? Bubbles in your soup? Bubbly chowder? Think about it. Anyway, enjoy this episode. I know I will. I'm in it. Cut. All right, Molly, question number 2. You'd figure I would have these memorized by now. I don't. All right, you're on death row. What's your last meal? I believe you get 2 drinks, 2 appetizers, 2 mains, and a dessert. You ready? Here we go. I have a lot to say about this first one. The first one, you said 2 perfectly made gin and tonics with Bombay and and lots of lime. Hold on, I have your Bombay, but I was going to contrast it with my favorite gin, which is Brockman's. But
okay, good to know.
Okay, have you had Brockman's?
No, I have not.
I don't want to steer you one way or another. It's your death row meal, but I'm telling you that Brockman's gin is so goddamn good. And I have nothing against Bombay. I have nothing against Tanqueray. I know it's your death row meal. You're not there yet. I would implore you, before you get there, give Brockman's a shot, because the gin was the first thing I was snobby about, and this shit is fucking incredible.
Okay, I will check it out, because Bombay is the only one I really like. I've had the Gordons, I've had the Tanqueray. I'm like, I think it's the botanicals in the Bombay that I really like. Gin and tonic, it's even with bad gin, it's kind of hard to mess that up. Like margaritas, margaritas are sometimes they're so good. Sometimes there's like just all syrup. Sometimes, sometimes the limes are bad. I don't think I've had 5 consistent margaritas in my entire life, right? But a gin and tonic.
Here's the thing about margaritas. Most often, especially if you go to some shitty restaurant and they're cheap, they're 90% sour mix. I'm not even sure there is tequila in there. At least with a gin and tonic, it's going to be about a 50-50 ratio most of the time. It's very hard to fuck up a 50-50 ratio. Okay, this is what I'm going to ask you to do for me. When you, next time you get a gin and tonic, Brockman's Fever Tree Tonic, and instead of the lime, try a lemon. It's going to be a whole new fucking experience for you.
Oh my God.
Oh, it's so goddamn good. It tastes like, it's like drinking sunshine.
I don't even know who I am anymore. Yeah.
All right, so you get 2 gin and tonics. All right, and then you're moving on. I believe, so is it this restaurant? Because you used to live in the DC area?
Yes, but that's not it. That's
I know. Listen, this is the thing. I think this might be it.
Oh my God.
Is that it?
Oh my God. If anybody's in DC, go to Rosica and get this crispy spinach. It is the best thing you've ever had in your life.
You might be onto something, because Rosica has a Michelin star.
Rosica is not playing. Rosica is not playing around at all.
Okay. So what are they doing here? They're frying. So it's crispy spinach. Is it fried spinach? How are they making spinach crispy?
Flash fry. So it's like very light, but it's crunchy. And then they put this little tomato chutney on top. And it's the best thing you've ever had in your life.
It sounds delightful. There's a Vietnamese restaurant near me that must flash fry eggplant. It doesn't taste like anything I've had on this earth. It could be anything. It doesn't have to be eggplant, but something about the crispy outside. I guess my point is I'm desperate for new ways to make food. Crispy spinach blows my mind. I fucking need it. Yeah. I love that shit. I love pretentious buffoonery. I think it's some of the best things. Like, I went to a rooftop bar in Venice with my parents, and we ordered this $35 Manhattan. The guy in the tuxedo comes out. He has an apparatus, sets it on fire. There's smoke and shit. He serves the Manhattan with green apple and dark chocolate. He's like, you got to pair it. Like, all right, I understand the appeal of I'm a meat and potatoes guy, and I just drink Jameson. But I also like a lot of fucking buffoonery. I like pretension. Like, how often can we saute spinach before somebody goes, can we try a different preparation? What if we try it? And somebody go, oh my God, that's amazing.
I mean, it's such a simple thing, and it doesn't taste overly fried. You can see it's still very green, but it has I don't know how they do it, but after reading that article last week, I was like, I should, the thing about living on the side of a mountain in Costa Rica, you're like, okay, I guess I got to learn how to make Rosica's crispy spinach now because I can't spend $1,200 to fly back to DC to have an appetizer.
I think it's all perspective. I'm a big Anthony Bourdain guy, but towards the end of his life, he was bitching about these tasting menus where you get like 18 different tiny courses. I'm like, that's a real fucking dickish thing to say because most people just have macaroni and cheese. Meanwhile, you have the best chefs in the world preparing you 18 separate goddamn things. They've really put a lot of effort in. Like, for you to hate that means you are so goddamn privileged. You've had too much of a great thing.
You've had too much of it because, I would, where I live, they put ketchup and mayonnaise on nachos. They're like, gringos love ketchup and mayonnaise. I'm like, nachos are Mexican. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We do put it all over the French fries and hamburgers, but leave it off the nachos. There's a real Costa Rica is not the culinary hub like Mexico is, right? Mexico, they're like, we buried these seasonings when my grandmother was alive and smoked them for 72 years. And then now we're serving them on this plate that was made 1,000 years ago. And then in Costa Rica, they like don't even season anything.
It's weird because we think of all like Southern cuisine as heavily spiced, and some people don't even use fucking salt. It's like the grand irony of England colonizing the world for spices and then never using any of them.
Ooh, that's a good one. But it's because it's true. It's like, what the hell you do with all those things?
In English cuisine, water is a spice. Like they boiled it. It's like, all right, didn't tell me to.
Mayonnaise is spicy. That crew,
Yeah, you got to add raisins to the potato salad to cool down the mayonnaise. All right, so this sounds great. I haven't had this. I have had the next thing, although I will venture to say most Americans have not. I lived in Korea. Fucking Korean double fried chicken wings are, as a country that loves its fried chicken, the fact that we haven't embraced this wholeheartedly is very depressing.
And all the flavors, the lemon, garlic, they got all kinds of crazy flavors, soy garlic, lemon pepper. They're all, look at that. Oh my God.
Yeah. In Korea, like they're spicy as hell, but the double friedness makes it extra goddamn, it's crispy, it's spicy, it's chicken. There should be a shack on every corner the way there's fucking Dunkin' Donuts for these things. They would clean up.
Look at all the seasoning. Look at all that flavor in that batter. That's not like fried with flour, then poured a bunch of buffalo sauce on it. Like, get out of town. Come on.
I've never made them. I don't know the method, but I do know that for again, a country that loves crispy things, Kentucky Fried Chicken, everybody fucking loves Kentucky Fried Chicken. Imagine that, but way better, fried twice and covered in spicy goo. All right. So those are I approve. I've never had the fried spinach, but it sounds goddamn delightful. Your first main, and I'm not going to try to pronounce this, but what do we got here?
Kebab.
Yeah, but what's the first word?
Oh, kubide, which is ground beef and parsley and onion. It's like a hamburger in a long tube.
Who can argue with ground beef in tube form? Looks delightful.
Tube steak.
Yeah, it looks like they cook it on swords. I didn't have a sword picture, but
it's the simplest thing, right? It's like white rice with a little bit of a saffron rice on top. That's what makes it yellow, right? And then they grill the vegetables, right? Sometimes they just give you a raw onion. Honestly, they don't even grill it. That is something about just grilled meat and the charred vegetables and the little bit of citrus. It's such a simple meal. Yeah. My God, is it good?
I think the grilled vegetable, grilled meat, rice combination is one of the finest on the planet. And I'm not just saying this because you chose it. It really goddamn works. I don't think I military brat, and I went to kindergarten through third grade in Georgia. And I was always excited for chicken fried steak day in the cafeteria. That's the only time I've ever had it because normally it's not on the menus a lot here in Massachusetts.
You got to go to like a Cracker Barrel. It's their like number one, I'm just saying, there's a steak under there and it's fried and you get gravy and then you get potatoes. Like, come on, man. The fat girl in me is like, yes, that is Mecca. That is Mecca right there.
I've seen this clip a million times on Facebook where they give British, they look like students, but it's at a fancy school where they wear, fancy uniforms and shit. They give them fried chicken, they give them sweet tea, and they gave them biscuits and gravy. And they're disgusted by the way it looks because it has this like sort of creamy sauce on it. Yeah. But it's objectively great, biscuits and gravy. The way that fried steak with a creamy goo on top, it might look weird. It's going to be great. It's going to be great.
And it's a shitty piece of steak inside, but when you batter it and fry it, it doesn't matter anymore. You know what I mean? If you put gravy on anything, I'm going to eat it. That's just That's just how it is.
I would like, okay, here's the thing. I would like a sophisticated version of this, but then you would be so insulted if they battered and fried filet mignon. Right? You would never do that, even though I think it would be pretty good. Like yesterday, for an April Fool's joke, one of the liquor stores I follow, because I'm an alcoholic, they did like, oh, this great new drink, Pappy with Diet Coke. And everybody's like, you would never mix it. And they were just fucking with you. But that's that same idea that you would never, I mean,
how to upset people.
Exactly. Which if you chicken fried steaked a filet, it would.
Oh yeah. I mean, if you take out a Worcestershire sauce bottle near steak lovers, they're like, you like lose their shit. Never mind, like battering it and deep frying it. You know,
that's because of the ketchup crowd. The well done steak with ketchup crowd has ruined a lot of like. You can't even get near that line without people being insulted, which I kind of agree with.
You're like, you cooked that steak? Like, I'm so sorry.
Stop cooking your meat, you lunatics. All right, dessert. You're going with the Eclair.
Well, and I recently learned how to make these.
Oh my God, that seems very complicated. You have to pipe in the goo in the middle, right?
I do. You have to make you have to make the custard in the middle first, and then let it set for 2 hours and get cold.
Oh God.
And then you make the choux pastry.
I watch a lot of Great British Bake Off, so I'm aware of the word choux pastry. Oh, I fucking love that show. You know what it is?
That show too.
It's just easy watching. Everyone's nice to each other. The English accent soothes me.
See, Eric, the more I learn about you, the more I'm like, no wonder we get along so well. We might be the same person.
No, I love the Great British Bake Off.
I do too. Like I cry. Like I love when like one of them is done and then they help the other one.
Me too. Whereas American shows would be like, fuck you and sabotaging each other. They all get together and like played it for, it makes you feel good about humanity.
It does. And they have it made me realize how stupid I am because I have like 7 vocabulary words and it's like, that shit's crazy. And the word fuck, that's pretty much my entire ethos, you know? Yeah, and then I'm watching that and they're like, oh, it's such a lovely little spot. You know, like, I'm like, I really need to work on expanding my vocabulary into things that aren't curse words because God, I am
they know about the things they like. I know you got 20-year-olds and they're like, make choux pastry. They're like, all right, yeah, I can do that. Obviously I can do that. I can't spell choux pastry and you can just whip some up and put it on in front of judges. It's crazy. All right. That's your meal. Oh, bonus question. All right. So you've had your meal. The state is putting you down. What song from your above 5 artists would you like playing as you're murdered by the government since you're at death row?
Fuck the Police by NWA. No, I'm just kidding.
All right. Well, it wasn't on your list, but I'll allow it. Here's a Midnight, Zeppelin, Marley, Georgia Smith, or Tupac. Any of them?
Oh, between them?
Yeah, your favorite bands.
I would probably pick Bob Marley, So Much Things to Say.
Nice. That's fitting. Oh, see, that's a good answer. Very few people have a good answer to that. All right, let's move on to the next question. That was good.